So what do I mean when I say we buy houses? A lot of people really don't understand this concept. So I'm going to take a few minutes. This is going to be a longer video than I usually post here. I'm going to take the time to explain we buy houses and what that means for our company and for the investors that invest in our projects. So we are a company local in North Metro Atlanta, and we literally buy houses. Now, the types of houses that we buy are homes that are in need of repair, or they have outdated features, or there's something about the house that needs to be done in order for it to come up to the full retail value and be sold to a home buyer that wants to move in and live there as their primary residence. And so in order to take a house that's distressed, where it needs a new roof, it needs a new air conditioning unit, it needs new flooring, it needs new lighting, and sometimes the walls have to be removed, or the sheetrock needs to be removed, and pipes replaced, and electrical wires changed out, and major components updated, and major landscaping, and sometimes grading the land around the house because water has been sloping towards the house for many years and penetrating into the basement or in the crawl space. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the outside of the house, and the siding and gutters and all sorts of things that would make a house in such a condition that it needs to be sold at a price for the person or the investment company buying it to make the repairs and then resell it for a profit. And that's what we do. And for some people, they can't imagine letting their house get into this condition. So why do people allow their houses to get in this condition? Well, sometimes it's just because of life circumstances, and that's really what it always is. Sometimes it might be loss of income, and just for a few years at the wrong time, person might be thinking that they could make a few extra dollars in the next year or two to make some repairs in the house, but then they lose their job. And so not only is their house in a worse condition a couple of years later, now that they don't have any income and they can't make their mortgage payment, they're really in a tight situation and they need to sell to pay off the mortgage. Or in some cases, people have their house paid off, but they've lived there for many, many years, and it's at the point where the house needs a total full renovation. And it may have been a very beautiful house, and a family grew up there, kids grew up, they grew and they left home, and there are grandkids, and everybody lives in a different part of the country. And so the surviving spouse of that couple is living in a house that just has not been updated in many years. They could have maintained it fairly well, but if it's a house that was built many, many years ago, all the features are not desirable. It may have older carpet that seemingly looks like it's in okay condition, but nobody would want the style of carpet or the colors that are in there. And the same with the lighting fixtures. And I'm giving this as an example of a house that actually has been pretty well maintained, but is outdated in its features. But a lot of houses that we buy are not only outdated with their features, they're in a state of disrepair. Maybe they need a new air conditioning unit, or the house needs a new roof, for example, and new flooring and new lighting and everything. Sometimes new plumbing fixtures. Sometimes we have to tear the walls out of a house and update the pipes within the walls, get rid of them and update them with more modern material. And the same with electrical wires. Sometimes we have to replace the electrical panel in a house, and that includes, when it's done right, it includes replacing all the wiring inside the walls, which of course requires all the sheetrock and the walls to be opened up to access everything. So it's very easy for a house to get into a condition where we as an investment company can buy it at a price that makes sense to the family that's selling the property and to us as an investment company. And it's the type of house that really probably would not sell to a retail buyer. It may be, the house may not even be eligible for a mortgage loan. There are certain requirements that lenders have when they lend on someone's primary residence. And so some of the houses that we buy would be considered by the banks and the mortgage companies to be ineligible for a home mortgage. So that leaves investors to buy it and people that want to buy a fixer-upper as their primary residence and move in. In that case, they would have to have cash to do that. And I find that many of these folks that want to buy a fixer-upper, well, they're looking for something they can live in and paint and make some changes and some updates as they're living there. But the types of houses I'm talking about are houses that are so have such neglected maintenance that most home buyers, even if they had the cash, would not want to buy a home like this and move in and fix it up as they're living there. And so these types of properties really require a major effort. It's a major renovation. There's a lot that needs to be undone with the property. We call that the demolition stage, where things are and components are removed from the house, material is moved from the house, sheetrock, cabinetry, flooring, lighting, everything in the house that needs to be updated and renovated is literally taken out of the house and thrown in dumpsters. And then the interior of the house and the exterior, if it needs new siding and roof, whatever, all that is rebuilt and put back into place. And when we're finished with the house, I call it a like new house, and it's a very desirable house for a home buyer. And the price points that we can sell these homes for, even though they are in like new condition, they are less expensive to purchase than a newly constructed home. And so renovating older homes is a part of the solution to the housing problem in the United States. And here in North Metro Atlanta, there's a lot of older housing stock that are in need of repairs and upgrades. And so this is what we do. We identify these properties, we engage with sellers who contact us, and we negotiate buying properties at prices that make sense for us as an investment company. We renovate the homes, we resell the houses for a profit, and we share and distribute these profits to the investors that are with our company. So if there's any questions about any of this, I am here to answer any questions you have. If you want to sell your house, definitely contact me. Our company may be able to make you an offer very quickly and put much needed cash in your pocket and solve your real estate problem.